Hi, it's Andy again, and sorry there was no video last week. We had a death in our family, and so was gone most of the week in trying to make provisions and arrangements for that. But we're back this week, and what we missed last week was a look at Dr. Luke. This week we moved to John, and John approaches the Gospels very differently from the other writers, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and um, but it's a good thing he did. There's some really major events that happen in John that aren't recorded elsewhere. For instance, Lazarus. As I look at this and I think through the story and the various things that Jesus did while he was on the earth, I think, how could Lazarus not have been incorporated into Matthew and Mark, and certainly Luke as a medical doctor? But thankfully, John's account of the gospel does have it in there. Another one is the story of Nicodemus. And we don't necessarily think much of Nicodemus per se, but if it wasn't for Nicodemus approaching Jesus at night, it's possible that we wouldn't have "For God so loved the world." Of course, it could have made it in other places, and John could have used that in other ways, or God could have communicated that in other ways, but it's because of Nicodemus that it is in there. Well, this week, as we continue our look into the New Testament, our 43rd lesson in this Route 66, we're going to be looking at John's Gospel, but specifically we're going to look at it from a Pharisee's point of view. We're going to look at what the Pharisees might have thought about Jesus, but not just any Pharisee. We're going to look at it through Nicodemus' eyes. We're going to look at it as to how he might have approached Jesus, why he approached him in the first place, how his colleagues would have felt about how Nicodemus may have been changing as they would have seen some of the things that they were seeing, hearing some of the things that they would have heard. So I hope you'll join us this week as we look at Nicodemus and how his impact, or how his life was impacted by the life of Jesus. We'll see you then.